If you're planning a trip to Disney World, chances are you've checked out some of the park rules. You know the basics. Everyone goes through security, bags get checked, and weapons are strictly banned. Nothing too surprising there. But beyond the obvious rules, Disney has a few that are downright bizarre, rules you'd never expect. Some of these rules are so unusual that even longtime Disney fans are surprised when they learn about them. So, what are these bizarre Disney park rules? Let's find out. Stick around to the end because the last two rules on our list are the weirdest of them all. The first bizarre rule is that Disney characters cannot assist with proposals. Disney's rule about characters not participating in proposals is a fascinating policy that surprises many guests. While love and romance are central themes in many Disney stories, the company has specific guidelines about how their beloved characters can interact during real-life proposals. The rule is straightforward. Disney characters cannot hold engagement rings or signs or participate in marriage proposals. This extends to other major life announcements too. When a guest attempts to propose in front of a character, the character will politely step away from the scene, ensuring they aren't part of the special moment. The reasoning behind this policy is thoughtful and practical. Proposals are deeply personal moments that can be unpredictable. Sometimes the answer might not be yes, and Disney wants to protect both the guests and their characters from potentially awkward or uncomfortable situations. Having Mickey Mouse or Cinderella in photos of a proposal that didn't work out could make those memories even more difficult. Disney also considers the timing and flow of character meet and greets. These interactions need to move smoothly to allow all guests to have special moments with characters. A proposal can take unexpected amounts of time and could disrupt the experience for other waiting guests. However, Disney hasn't completely closed the door on romantic moments. They offer several official proposal packages and planning services through Disney Fairy Tale Weddings. These structured options give couples beautiful, magical moments while maintaining the park's policies and procedures. Moving on, another bizarre rule is that guests aged 14 and older aren't allowed to wear costumes, unless it's for a special event. I know it might sound a bit strict, but there's a really good reason behind it. Disney wants to make sure that every single guest, especially the little ones, has a truly magical experience. Imagine you're a 5-year-old walking through the park and you see two Snow Whites. One is the official Disney character, and the other is just a really well-dressed guest. Pretty confusing, right? This could really break the magic for kids who believe they're meeting the real Disney characters. However, Disney does make exceptions for little ones under 14. They can come dressed as their favorite characters any day of the year, as long as their costumes are family-friendly and safe. There's nothing cuter than seeing tiny princesses and superheroes walking around the park. But Disney isn't completely anti-costume for adults. They have these amazing special events like Mickey's Not-So-Scary Halloween Party, where everyone can dress up and join in the fun. During these events, the park transforms into a costume paradise, and adults can finally live out their Disney character dreams, with some safety guidelines, of course. While full costumes aren't allowed for adults on regular days, Disney came up with this creative trend called Disney bounding. It's where you wear regular clothes in color combinations that hint at Disney characters. For example, you might wear a blue dress with a white apron to suggest Alice in Wonderland, or a purple top with green pants to remind people of Ariel. It's become super popular because it lets adults show their Disney love while staying within the rules. No food or drinks around the characters is another bizarre rule that most people don't tend to understand. If you're walking through the park, enjoying a delicious Mickey pretzel or sipping on a cold drink, then suddenly you spot Cinderella. While it might seem natural to rush right over, Disney has a gentle but firm rule about putting those snacks aside before you meet the characters. Here's why such a rule even exists. First, let's talk about the practical side. Those character costumes are absolutely amazing, but they're also incredibly delicate and expensive. Just imagine what would happen if someone accidentally spilled their strawberry smoothie on Snow White's iconic yellow and blue dress. Or picture a melted ice cream cone dripping onto Aladdin's vest. The costumes need to stay pristine for every single guest who comes to meet these beloved characters. But that's not the only reason. Disney is super careful about protecting their characters' image. They don't want any photos floating around that might make it look like Mickey Mouse prefers Pepsi over any other drink, or that Princess Tiana has a favorite brand of chips. This next rule might be the most surprising. Selfie sticks are completely banned in all Disney parks. Back in 2015, Disney made the big decision to ban selfie sticks from all their theme parks worldwide completely, and it got everyone talking, but there's quite a story behind it. The biggest concern was safety. Roller coasters and fast-moving rides don't mix well with long, extendable metal poles. A stray selfie stick swinging into the path of a high-speed attraction was a risk Disney wasn't willing to take. Crowds were another issue. During peak seasons, thousands of visitors pack into the parks, gathering around iconic spots like Cinderella's castle to watch parades and fireworks. With selfie sticks held high, they became more than just a nuisance. They blocked views and occasionally struck nearby guests. What was meant to be a simple photo tool was turning into an unexpected hazard. At first, Disney tried a softer approach. They put up signs saying no selfie sticks on certain rides and asked people nicely to keep them stored. But you know how it goes, some folks just couldn't resist trying to get that perfect shot, and it became a real headache for the staff. The ban caused quite a stir when it first happened. Some visitors would arrive at the park gates with a selfie stick in hand, unaware of the rule. Disney had to set up special storage areas and even train their security teams on how to explain the new policy politely. They now check for these items during the standard bag check, right alongside other prohibited items. After Disney made this move, many other theme parks followed suit. It started a trend in the entertainment industry, with places like Universal Studios and various museums adopting similar policies. Disney had set a new standard for guest safety. Has the ban worked? Absolutely. The parks report fewer safety incidents and better crowd flow, and honestly, people have adapted pretty well. Most visitors now use their phone cameras or regular selfie techniques to capture their magical moments, and the experience is just as special. The fifth bizarre rule is that guests aren't allowed to hang clothes on their hotel balcony. This rule clearly states that guests cannot hang clothing, towels, bedding, or any similar items over their hotel room balconies. Safety stands as the primary concern behind this policy. Items hanging from balconies can easily be caught by wind gusts and fall, potentially harming guests walking below. This risk becomes even more serious at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, where fallen items could land in animal habitats and create dangerous situations for wildlife, similar to the balloon policy. Property protection is another key reason for this rule. Disney cannot take responsibility for personal items that might blow away from balconies. Imagine losing your favorite swimsuit or an expensive piece of clothing just because a sudden Florida breeze carried it away. Once items fall from balconies, they often become irretrievable or damaged. There's also the matter of property protection. Disney invests considerable effort in creating specific themes and atmospheres at each resort. They carefully design every visual element to maintain a certain aesthetic standard. Clothes, towels, and other items hanging from balconies can disrupt this carefully crafted appearance and diminish the magical experience for other guests. Disney provides alternatives for guests needing to dry wet items. Each hotel room comes equipped with appropriate areas inside to hang wet clothing and towels. The bathrooms typically include retractable clotheslines or hanging spaces specifically designed for this purpose. Now, let's talk about a rule that might seem odd at first, but actually makes a lot of sense. Guests aren't allowed to bring glass containers into the park, except for baby food jars. Think about what happens when glass breaks. In a crowded theme park with thousands of people walking around, a broken glass container could cause all sorts of problems. Imagine you're carrying a glass bottle of soda, accidentally dropping it, and suddenly sharp glass pieces are scattered on the ground. It's not fun at all, especially in a place where kids are running around excited and might not be watching where they step, but Disney made that special exception for baby food jars because they understand that some parents need to bring specific baby foods for their little ones. They recognize that some babies have special dietary needs, and many baby foods only come in glass containers. The rule gets even more interesting when you look at how it's handled in the parks. At the security checkpoints, cast members are trained to spot glass containers during bag checks. But they're not just there to say no. They'll often help guests find alternatives. For example, if you bring a glass water bottle, they might direct you to nearby water fountains or tell you about the many places in the park where you can buy drinks in plastic containers. And finally, we've saved the most bizarre rule for last: no balloons at certain parks. While Disney World is famous for those colorful Mickey-shaped balloons bobbing through the crowds, you won't spot a single one at Animal Kingdom or Animal Kingdom Lodge. This isn't because Disney wants to limit the fun. Instead, it's all about protecting the thousands of amazing animals that call these places home. The reason is serious but simple. Balloons pose a real danger to animals. When a balloon deflates or pops, it can end up in animal habitats. Many animals might mistake these colorful pieces for food, and eating them could be fatal. The strings and ribbons attached to balloons are just as dangerous, potentially causing animals to become tangled or choke. This rule applies everywhere at Animal Kingdom, from the Africa section to Asia, and extends to both parts of Animal Kingdom Lodge, Kidani Village, and Jambo House. These areas are home to incredible creatures like giraffes, zebras, and exotic birds who roam freely in their carefully designed habitats. Disney takes this rule very seriously. If you happen to visit Animal Kingdom after getting a balloon at another park, friendly cast members at the entrance will offer to hold your balloon until you leave. They've set up special storage areas just for this purpose, showing how much thought goes into making this rule work for everyone. What other bizarre Disney park rules have you come across? Share them in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a moment of the magic. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next adventure.